Alrighty then, here we are, Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 420. What upsets you? I think nowadays it's an important topic, and especially as an author, it's extremely important not to get upset and show that in public, because you are the bedrock by which your readers stand, and they can come to you. You're the lighthouse to show the rocky reefs before them. As I talked about previously, you're a leader whether you want to be or not. So it's important to understand what upsets you and how to face it. One of the things that I hate the most is lies. When somebody, like a bad review, where somebody didn't read the book and they just post some random stuff because they don't like me. Okay, good enough. And what an old boss used to tell me was, second liar never has a chance. So staying out in front of an issue or responding. If you're responding, well, you're defensive, and what the first person said, where there's smoke, there's fire. No, if they made up and lied about the first thing, then you're playing catch up and say, but that's not right. That's not true. And now you've got to count on people to believe you. And do they believe? They like to believe the juicy stuff, which is usually the lies. So yes, lies are one thing that upset me more than anything, because no matter what you do, you can't deal with them, because otherwise you're defensive. The more he brings it up, the more that is real. And so people project onto other folks their fantasies and mentally disturbed issues, and all of a sudden you're always responding to these false allegations. What I learned a long time ago when I did have to deal with the regular media was that don't comment at all. It's not my job to prove a negative. You can throw out all these rumors you want, but here's what's going on. Yeah, don't give it a voice. So that has helped me immensely. Sometimes you have to respond, but try to find ways not to. Bad reviews, that's one of the things you just have to take. There's almost nothing you can do about it. If a bad review is a personal attack only, then possibly one of the publishers or distributors will remove it. Otherwise, you're stuck with it, and you just leave it, and you just try to get as many positive reviews as you can. One of the biggest points of angst for people is missed expectations. It goes from relationships to all the way to your employer to life as a whole, like going on vacation. Oh, I can't wait to go on vacation. Everything's going to be great. What if it's not? What if you get there and your hotel room is crappy and it's a much longer walk to the beach than you thought, and now all of a sudden it's easy to get upset when you're on vacation? It's like, I'm just going to go clear my mind. Lower your expectations and give yourself a chance to win. Otherwise, you're constantly going to set yourself up to fail. You're going to lose, and you're going to be always upset because you're not meeting your expectations. Incredibly important for your own expectations that they're realistic, that you can meet them if there's any way possible, and then you can be happier about it and not be constantly in a state of upset. Like me, I'm not going to drive into town at 7:30 in the morning because that's when there's most traffic out on the road. Easy enough. I go into town at 10. There's not a whole lot of traffic, and if there is, I'll wait, let it pass, and then get in and drive however I want to drive. I don't care how you drive, just don't do it near me. So I go off hours. That's how I manage my expectations of being on a road with people who might be idiots. Okay, they're always out there, and anybody who drives faster than me is an idiot, and anybody who drives slower than me is also an idiot. So once again, I set everybody up to fail. So I just don't go out there when there's other cars on the road, and I can do that because of where I live. We don't have a lot of cars on the road, ever. What about feeling of helplessness, where you feel that you're a victim, there's nothing you can do? Events are spiraling out of control. You've got to do what you can to get your part of the world back into control, get your reactions to the helplessness back under control. What is in your control? Take it, hold on tightly to it, and try to go from there. Anger and violence. You see a lot of videos pop up on the Facebook feed or through Twitter or some of the other feeds, Instagram, and it'll be of random violence. Somebody walks up and just punches somebody in the face. That bothers me a whole lot because that goes into my bubble of security of me. What if I'm just walking down the street? I'm old and broken. Anybody could come up and hit me, and there's not anything I could do about it. But I can't think that way, so I have to avoid those at all costs. I can't watch those videos because they're destructive to my psyche. And coming back to being an author, you have got to have your head on right. You can't be upset, otherwise the words don't come out right. And sometimes they come out and they're angry words. And when your readers look through it, or your editor looks through that and says, like, geez, you're kind of angry here. Keep your readers happy. I write pulp. I write escape fiction. It's important for me not to be angry words and have angry conversations with the readers. So you have to face it. You can avoid it, or you have to rid yourself of it. That's your way to deal with what upsets you. Most importantly is you have to define it so you know what it is, and then you could take steps to deal with it. Avoid that which makes you upset. So that's why I have a full-time employee who handles email, because a lot of emails upset me greatly because they're misplaced. They're asking for stuff. They all want some time. So full-time employee just to handle the emails, and she does a lot of other great things too for me, as I found out. But emails, because a lot of times it's that feeling of helplessness. Hey, I get this avalanche of emails, and there's not anything I can do about it, and that's 3 hours of my day answering stuff that has already been answered elsewhere. So it's kind of frustrating. However, we've got that handled now. So face it. Do what you can to handle what upsets you. Deal with it, avoid it, or get rid of it. Uncle Bill, don't invite him to Thanksgiving. Say, hey, I'm traveling for Thanksgiving. You don't know how freeing that is when you go on vacation, and now all of a sudden you don't have to deal with all the relatives that you only see once a year because you're on vacation. You left. Oh, hey, there was a great sale for tickets to Hawaii. Sorry, everybody. You're going to have Thanksgiving dinner at somebody else's house and go destroy their lives for that one day. And nobody cares about the football games on Thanksgiving Day. They care about eating. All right.